Hey everybody. I had some technical difficulties just now, so sorry I'm a little late. Check, microphone 1 2 1 2. That sounds good. Okay, well, let's begin our session. I hope that you join me. And I'm not going to be able, oh, here is somebody. Want to say hi? Who are ya? Hey, hi there. Okay. All right, everybody. Okay, good morning. Welcome to Livestream Vinyasa Yoga and Mantra Meditation with me. My name is Noelle, and I'm happy to be here with you on this glorious day. It's really sunny outside. It's very nice. I hope that wherever you're tuning in from, it's nice for you as well. So this, if you haven't seen my videos before or have seen this instrument, it's called a harmonium. So when we start our practice, I'll guide you through a short chant meditation. We'll use the mantra Om, which is the destination of peace, as some of my teachers would say. Also, another tool that I like to use in my practice is essential oils, because it helps me to, got cedarwood, bergamot, and myrrh, and it just helps to ground me down. And that's something that I find challenging. And in this season of my life, I have a vata imbalance. And vata is one of the doshas according to Ayurvedic philosophy. And Ayurveda is the full spectrum holistic wellness system that's still used in India. And it's the idea that we're all made of nature and the elements, and we have our own particular allotment. We could be tridoshic, meaning all three. We could be primarily two. And you come into the world in a particular way in your prakriti, and then you have a vikruti, which is your current state. The doshas are kapha, pitta, and vata. And kapha is earth and water, and pitta is fire and water, and vata is air and space. So if you feel a little bit scattered right now in your life, and you feel a little bit spread too thin, or your mind is going a lot of different ways, and maybe you have a lot of travel in your life, then maybe you will join me on the Vata train. So anything that's grounding can be beneficial to you. Grounding essential oils like cedarwood, warm cooked foods, lessening your travel calendar, getting a little bit more of good fats in your diet, like avocado and nut butters and oils and things like that, like coconut oil, clean. So, and from a mantra perspective, our theme will be centered around strength. And in yogic philosophy, we learned that that principle and that deity that represents strength and courage and devotion without ego, just selfless service, is called Hanuman. He is the son of the wind, and he is a half man, half monkey. And his mother Anjani and his father Keshari were blessed with him as a son through a boon that Shiva bestowed upon them. So Hanuman represents strength because he is able to fly. He's very strong and heroic. If you have heard of the yogic epic, the Ramayana, the yogic stories, he is just so completely devoted to his beloveds Ram, Sita, and Lakshman. And he, when Sita is kidnapped and brought to Sri Lanka, he helps to find Sita and gives Ram the glory. So you will read about that when you read the story, that Hanuman takes a leap of faith over the ocean with Ram's ring in his mouth as a sign that he's going to come and help rescue Sita, but he's giving all the glory back to Sita's beloved Ram. So that is just a small version of the story. And so that posture in the asana practice is Hanumanasana. So that's the split. That's the leap of faith. So we will work into that today, and we'll use a mantra at the end of the practice that represents that strength and selfless devotion and Hanuman. And if you'd like to learn more about that, please just send me a message. I'd love to talk more about yogic philosophy. And one day I'll put up a workshop with the principles of the deities according to Hindu philosophy. And I think that's all I have to say. So we'll begin with a short pranayama practice, which is the control of the breath, and then using our essential oil if you have it. So your favorite oil, you can just put a little bit in your hand before you start the breathing practice. So when you're ready, you'll just take a comfortable seated position, and you can lie down. It's no problem if you want to lie down, but my teachers would say that if you sit up, you have access to prana or life force energy all around you. So just consider that. If you feel very sleepy, lying down can be counterproductive because it will just be more of that same, bringing you down kind of energy. So to create more energy, we can do the opposite. We can sit up. Okay. Take the seat that is comfortable to you, but then change the shape of the legs. You can bring the other leg in front or on top. And when we do that, it helps to balance out our habitual tendencies, because we all have them, Okay, I'm sitting on a blanket. You can sit on a block, you can sit on a pillow, or feel free even to sit against a wall. That can be really nice for support. I'm really digging my shadow here. I'll make some shadow puppets during practice. Okay, anyway, let's start. When you feel ready, just begin rolling your shoulders, rolling through your neck. You might clear your throat. Make sure you have some water nearby. Stay hydrated. Start taking some deep breaths in and out. Let's roll the head to the right. Press down through your left hand if you want to. Clear your throat. I don't know about you guys, but here in the southeastern United States, there's a lot of allergies happening. And then let's roll the head to the left and press down through the right hand. Take a breath. And then release the hands back to the lap and sit really tall. All right, if you have oil, let's go ahead and put some oil. You can just put a drop or two in your hand, depending on the strength of your oil grade. And then you'll rub it in your hands. And you don't have to have oil to rub your hands together. You can charge them up with warmth and energy and goodness. And then take a big inhale. Hold. Exhale, release. Again, rub the hands together. Get them warm. Place them close to your face, or if there's no oil on your hands, you can cover your eyes and cut out the light. Take a big deep breath in. Hold, hands to the heart if you like. Tuck the chin, activating Jalandhara Bandha, the chin lock. Swallow. As you hold the breath, which is internal kumbhaka, you can drop through the shoulders. Take another sip of inhale through the mouth and hold that. Maybe run your tongue over your teeth and swallow. And then big exhale through your mouth. Okay, one more time. Rub the hands together. Charge them up with all of the goodness and love in the world. We'll take one last big inhale. Hold. Exhale, release. Take a big inhale in. And full exhale. Now we'll move into Nadi Shodhana, the alternate nostril breath or the channel purifying breath. So if you like, you can create Vishnu Mudra, which is to take your right hand and you release your thumb and the last two fingers. but sometimes that hurts my hand, especially if I've been doing a lot of body work or I've been playing a lot of music. So feel free just to let your hand relax, and you can take peace fingers, the index and middle finger, and place it at the bridge of the nose, close to the eyebrows, center of the forehead, Ajna chakra, your third eye. Now inhale through both nostrils. Close the right nostril and exhale through the left. Let that breath be soft and easy. Then inhale through the left. Close and exhale through the right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Inhale left. Close and exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Now we'll add retention. Inhale through the right. Close and hold both sides. You can tuck the chin if you want. Imagine the energy of prana pooling up at the third eye, right where your fingers are, right at the forehead, your wisdom center. Release the chin, exhale through the left. Inhale left, drawing that lunar energy up. Close at the center, hold. Tuck the chin. Release the chin, exhale through the right. Now draw the solar energy up as you inhale through the right. Let it meet the lunar energy in the center, right at that space of intuition. If you like, imagine energy coming down through the crown of the head, through Sahasrara chakra, meeting at the Ajna, the third eye. Our divine energy being received by our body and our mind. Exhale to the left. Call up that lunar feminine energy from the left side as you inhale. Hold in the center. Feel it meet the masculine energy from the right. Perhaps even feeling prana drawing from the root, Kundalini Shakti, your own personal creative inspiration energy up to the crown, Sahasrara Shakti, merging with Shiva, pure consciousness, and then release it out through the right as you exhale. Call up the earth energy, the solar energy, Kundalini Shakti rising. Inhale. Hold in the center, feel the channel through the center, feel it spiral up into the right, from the root to the crown of the head. Exhale to the left. Inhale, call it up from the root. Feel the spiral move up into the left, meeting at the crown. Pause, let it contain at the third eye. Exhale, release right. Inhale right. Pause and hold in the center. This time, release through your nose. Release your hands. Just pause for a moment and observe any information that you received today. What's important right now? If you like keeping your eyes closed, feel free to place your hands on your heart. And from that question you just asked your soul, what do I need to know? Let's take a moment to set an intention. Through that self-observation comes the power of discernment. Our ability to really truly understand what's most important to us. And to speak our values to others. It takes strength to speak up. So we'll call upon Hanuman for that strength. We'll offer 3 rounds of Om. And as I do, I invite you to join me there in the sound vibration. Perhaps sending your intention out to the world. Creating sound with your body is a great way to embody your intention. Sound is the link between the physical world and that which is beyond. Let's take a deep breath in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti. I recognize you. I see you. I bow to you. Namaste. Feel free to bring your gaze toward the floor to open your eyes. You can flutter them open. And let's take a big deep breath in, reaching out and up, and then palms together down through the heart, exhaling, bringing the hands to Anjali Mudra, just making an offering, perhaps just simply of gratitude for your strength, for your ability to do anything that you decide that you can. So perhaps throughout the practice today, we notice any doubts or fears that come up, or all the times that we get distracted. Instead of thinking, oh man, I wish I could just focus, say, oh, thank you for my active mind. Okay, and then maybe releasing the hands, move the harmonium out of the way, and then we can get into our movement practice. Okay, keep an eye on the time here. So when you feel ready, let's come to standing. Let's just start right in standing. You can have the blanket nearby if you want to use it underneath your knees. And so when you're ready, come to the top of your mat. So the top of the mat meets the front of the mat, if you were wondering. Let's rise, reach the arms in the air, palms touch. Exhale your left hand down and lean up and over to your left. So getting all the way down to the right side of the body, you're pressing down to the right foot. You're using your core to support the left side of the body so that the right side of the body can open. Feel free to look down or out or up. This is called Ardha Chandrasana. Your hands to create more length and space. Deep breaths, your neck is long. Inhaling and exhaling fully. And eventually we'll transition into Ujjayi Pranayama, the victorious breath, where you cultivate an ocean sound by constricting the throat slightly. Massages the vocal cords. Inhale, rise up. Clasp your fingers. Note which thumb is on top and then press the palms up and let's take some circles here. Feel free to separate your feet. Let's just start doing some big circles through the upper body, going the other way. Bending the knees. You can go all the way down if you'd like to. Be kind to the low back. Your core is engaged, okay? And then let's rise up. Inhale. And as you exhale, release the hands and bring the hands behind the back. And you can either clasp the forearms, right forearm on top, or if you want to, clasp the fingers. With your feet about shoulder distance apart, holding the forearms or holding the fingers in a clasp, or even using a strap, you can fold forward to get a nice shoulder stretch. Let's take 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 2. 1 more, inhale. As you exhale, bend the knees, engage the core, and let's stand up. Slowly rise, release the hands, reach them up in the air, and inhale. And then exhale the hands down to the heart. Now let's sweep the hands up and clasp the fingers maybe in the opposite way that you did before and flip the palms up. So the opposite grip, and just start circling maybe to the left this time, engaging the core. Put a little drag on the fingers as if you're trying to pull them apart to get more traction. Deep breaths. If you exhale through your mouth, you might notice that it feels like a release of exhale. Reach the hands behind the back and either clasp the forearms, or you can clasp the fingers, letting the left thumb go on top, and then fold forward with some space between your feet. Relax your neck and release your jaw. You might turn your head. You might bend one knee and then the other as you move the arms side to side. Shake your head, yes. I'm having a great day, or no worries. Sarva Mangalam, it's all good. And then bend the knees, engage the core, and let's rise to stand. Release the hands and reach them up in the air, inhaling. Exhale the hands to the heart. Okay, and then release. All right, we'll come into our Namaskar series now. If you have music that you enjoy, you can put it on. That way we will have no copyright infringement issues. Okay, I have a couple of blocks here. Feel free to use the blocks in your practice if you need some support in stepping back to lunges or stepping up, or even for our standing series. So coming to Tadasana, mountain pose, you can have the feet a couple of inches apart, or to challenge your balance, bring the big toes together. Engage the core and feel the front line of the body draw slightly up because your tail is scooping ever so slightly to get some length in the low back. Not to harden the glutes, but to feel prana move up through the inner thighs, and engaging the pelvic floor, we lift the energy up through Mula Bandha, the root block. And then by slightly drawing the tail forward and the pelvic floor up and in, the perineum rises, and then you can feel energy prana draw up through the belly, and the navel draws up under the ribs for Uddiyana Bandha, the upward flying lock. So imagine drawing in and up, right up to just above the navel, which is the pranic center called Khanda. And from an energetic anatomy perspective, this is called Manipura chakra, the solar plexus. So that's our strength center, manifestation station, I like to call it. So feeling the energy rise from the feet, up through the core, up through the heart, and then up through the tips of the fingers, lift the gaze, the drishti, to the thumbs. As you exhale, fold forward. You can go through the midline or by the sides, whatever. Inhale, hands to your shins, or keep the hands on the floor and lift the heart. If you notice that you're pressing your knees back and locking them, can you put some of the weight in your toes and think about lifting the tailbone up and the heart forward. Keep the length and fold forward and down. There's a lot of weight in your toes. Exhale. Inhale again, hands to the shins or to the floor. Look up, lengthen forward. And exhale, fold again, Uttanasana. And one more time, get even longer. Inhale. And exhale and fold and plant the hands. Keep the gaze, the drishti, forward. I like to bring it about a foot in front of my feet. And then you can step back to plank, or you can jump back and hold chaturanga. Now, for chaturanga dandasana, we want to make sure that the thighs are lifted, the tail is scooped, and then our weight comes forward right over the wrists. The neck is long. You can bend the elbows on the knees or on the toes. Hover. Press to the tops of the feet if you want upward facing dog right away, or Mukha Svanasana. Otherwise, legs on the ground for Bhujangasana Cobra. Exhaling, lift the hips downward facing dog. So for our first down dog, feel free to pedal through your feet, bending one knee and then the other. Releasing your jaw. You might take a big yawn at any point. I love yawning and sneezing. Okay, let's take one more breath. And we'll flow a little quicker. On your inhale, bend your knees and look forward. As you exhale, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold again, Uttanasana. Hips up, heart down. Sweep to rise. Inhale, rise up. Lift your gaze to the thumbs and exhale, hands to the heart. Surya Namaskar A. Sun salutation, let's rise. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bring the gaze forward and down, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Either step to plank or jump to chaturanga and hold it. Lower down. Inhale through your back bend. Cobra, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Hold for 3 breaths. Big exhale. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Working Ujjayi Pranayama now. Constrict the throat. Inhale. Exhale, 2. One more inhale. And exhale. Draw up to the navel as you bend the knees and look forward. And then jump, if you can, step to the top of the mat. Lengthen half, bend the elbows. Inhale, switch the foot that takes you in. And exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a full breath. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, 2. One more inhale. You're pushing the front of the mat away. You're engaging your core as you exhale. Keep engaging the core as you inhale. Lift the gaze, draw the navel up and step or jump to where your gaze is. Take a half lift and inhale, continuing, and then exhale and fold. Press into the feet, rise up, inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, hands to the heart. For Surya Namaskar B, sit low to reach high, Utkatasana. So resist the urge to stick it way out. Let's draw the tail under slightly. Let's pull the front rib cage back. You can have your arms in front of you if you'd like and draw the shoulder blades onto the back, or if you can, arms go up. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step to plank, or if you jump to bend elbows to engage the core. Inhale through your back bend, lift your face. Now let's talk about the feet. The heels are drawing in, the tail is drawing forward, the front line of the body is drawing up. Exhale, downward facing Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhaling, step your right foot forward and exhale, ground the back heel. Inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1, hips face relatively forward, front knee bends over the ankle. Exhale, hands down. Now look forward and step back, knees, toes, or even one-legged plank as you exhale, chaturanga. Inhale through your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward and ground the back heel as you exhale. Rise, inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, hands down. Watch what happens with my back foot. When I lift my back heel, I'm right in that position to step back to hover in half plank. Then I use my feet for the back bend, inhaling. And exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 2. One more inhale. Full exhale. Soften the knees, look forward, inhale, then step or jump to your gaze point. Continue inhaling as you lift, and exhale and fold. Drop your feet, raise your arms. Inhale, Utkatasana, and exhale, rise to stand, maybe through a back bend. Pull the energy up as you bring the hands down. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Gaze between the shins, inhale. Exhale, 2, or maybe between the upper thighs. One more inhale, maybe gaze to the navel as you exhale. Inhale, bend the knees, jump to the top of the mat, extend to the heart, and exhale and fold Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana, bend the knees, raise the arms. Exhale, rise to stand, hands to the heart. Now just with the breath, flow in your way. It may or may not look like my flow. Don't worry about doing anything wrong. That's the beauty of having your own home practice. Nobody can see you, okay? Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Remember, you can drink water anytime you want, you guys. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Last inhale. And full exhale. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale. And exhale, Samastiti. We need to begin again. Nice job, everybody. Grab some water if you want to. Right. So when we move into our balance practice, you might step off the mat. You might be on the mat. You might use the wall. So whatever you like. We'll go through a series of standing poses into standing balances. And feel free to use your blocks if you like. And I have these cork blocks, and if you want some cork blocks, I have a little deal in the show notes that I'll post. And hello, Tara. Nice to see you. Okay, so putting the blocks up to the highest level. Remember that they're not stable, okay? So they might fall down. So please keep the strength and support in your body. And the blocks are just a tool to lift the floor up to you a little bit, okay? So when you're ready, inhale, raise your arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, either step to down dog or step back to plank and lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. I'm going to mirror you now so we can see each other. Inhaling, raise your right leg. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Ground the back heel and let's rise to Virabhadrasana 2. So make sure that you can see the screen for now and that your right foot is forward and the pinky toe side of your right foot is parallel to the lung energy. So as you inhale, let's hug the legs closer together and pull energy up from the earth to reach to the sky. And then exhale and bend the front knee out over the second and third toe as you fly the arms, energy down upon Vayu. Inhale, Udana Vayu, really engaging the left leg as well. It keeps you grounded and it keeps us safe and strong. And then exhale and come down. Last time, rise, inhale, stay standing, and exhale and fly the arms. If you like, you can shorten the stance a little bit, bringing the back foot in. And the back foot is parallel to the short side of the mat for this posture. It aligns with the front heel or the back arch intersects the front heel. So on your inhale, lean forward, but make sure you're still using your left inner thigh. Sometimes I like to put my hand there. Stay out of hanging out in the knee joint, and instead let's use all the muscles that protect the joint. But for this variation, I invite you to really focus on using the inner thighs and the core instead. And if you like, you can reach your right hand forward toward the screen, like we're gonna hand each other something. Hey. So we're really using the core through the right side of the body, anchored by the left inner thigh. So keep turning that on, squeeze your left glutes and open even more. Let's take one more breath and then rise to stand. As you exhale, bend the front knee, lean back to Viparita Virabhadrasana, reverse warrior. Instead of dumping all the weight into that left side, engage the core and feel strength through there so that you can reach back more, getting a lot of space in the right hip point. And then come forward and inhale. And exhale and bend the front knee. Now, extended side angle, you can bring the right forearm on the front thigh and slide the left hand into extension, the blade back, engaging the core. Keep that and then only bring the arm over your head as much as you can. That actually makes me shake. It's kind of hard. If you want, you can bend the front knee more. If you'd like to come down, you can bring your hand to your block outside your foot for this variation. And then see if you can press the leg into the inside of the arm and arm inside of the leg. Now, take the hips forward, scooping the tail into slight posterior tilt. Bend the front knee more, but remember the left leg. Squeeze the left glutes if the left leg has forgotten its power. Let's take one more breath, reach the arm forward more. Now as you exhale, bring the left hand to the hip. Let's go into Ardha Chandrasana. So we'll start here. So keeping your right hand on your block, walk your left foot closer. Now we're moving the block up into a diagonal angle. Then keep the pelvis open like warrior 2 and start to lift the left leg open, or up rather. Draw the toes forward, dorsiflexion, so the toes draw towards your face. And the engagement of the right side abdominals will help you lift the left arm high. Now, if you want to, imagine pushing down through your right big toe. Take some of the weight off of your right hand because your left leg is so strong. Bring your right hand toward the screen. Again, with that same arm extension, forward and up. 2 more breaths, you got it. I'm receiving whatever you're giving me. Thank you. I'll put it right here in my heart. Hand can come down, left hand can come down. Feel the length of your left leg just simply help you stand up. Soften your right knee for a soft landing. Come back into warrior 2. Let's reverse it again. Inhale. Stand up, stretch. If you want, you can pull the right wrist back with your left hand. And then exhale and release. Turn your right toes forward. And either heel toe in or just jump. Yay. Couldn't see you, but I could feel how strong you are. So Jai Hanuman, Jai Bajrang, victory to that strength that we inherently are, that can be manifested into our physical bodies and into the power of discernment in our minds. Okay. Take a block and place it. We'll do the other side of the body now. So I'm going to step this way so that you can see me. So come to the top of the mat and know that your left foot will be drawing forward. So wherever you can be so that we can see each other, so that we can hand each other that thing that you're giving me. I'm giving you love, and I'm receiving love back from you, so thank you. Okay, so coming close to the blocks, let's raise the arms. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, lift the gaze. If you want to take a back bend, that turns into Anuvitasana as you press the pelvis forward, the heart lifts higher. And then exhale, come forward, stack your body, soften the knees, keep the heart pulling forward, keep the toes strongly anchored as you fold. Inhale, flat back or half lift. Leg will rise, your left leg reaches up, inhale, lift high onto the right tippy toes and look forward. As you exhale, step your left foot through between your hands and ground the back heel. Lead with your right hand as you rise up into your strong warrior. Okay, now you pull in and up as you straighten both of your legs. Remember that your right leg is your anchor, your tether. As you exhale, bend the front knee out over the second and third toe, but the right glutes and the right inner thighs are working. Inhale, rise up. Your right leg is your anchor. Test the strength of the ankle. Connecting with your right leg as you bend your left knee. It's really common to dump all the weight of these standing poses into the front leg, but the back leg, as Iyengar would say, is your power. Now stand up tall, keep your legs straight, stay out of the left knee joint and fly the arms. Inhale, lean forward. Now notice the difference between ooh, did you hear that? The hyperextension of the left knee without any regard to muscular engagement. Now engage the leg and feel all of the muscles working. Now your right inner thigh and your glutes are turned on here so that we can reach forward, and then left hand to the shin or to a block your choice. Now slightly scoot the tail under a little bit to roll the heart open. Now push down into both heels and hug them closer together, and then reach your left arm toward me. I want to pick up what you're reaching toward me, what you're putting down. What is it? Is it a little bit of love? I need some love. I need some affection. We all do, right? Keep breathing, keep working the right inner thigh. Notice the inner groin attachment turning on. Pull prana up through the root, up through the belly, up, out through the heart. And then let's rise up and inhale, bend the front knee. Reverse your warrior, exhale, Viparita Virabhadrasana. Make sure that your right side is engaged so that you can get more space to the left side. Good, and then extended side angle. Bring your left forearm on your thigh to start. For Utthita Parsvakonasana, the extended side angle, let's take the pelvis forward toward the camera, so a slight posterior tilt. You're swooping the tail under to then roll the energy open through the heart. Reach out to the right hand. Now, if you can, bring your left hand down onto your block outside the foot so that the inside of the arm and the outside of the leg can make contact. Use that to scoop the left hip under more and feel the line draw up to the heart. But remember that that line starts with the right foot. So maybe you lift all of the right toes. Keep that. Lift up off of your left arm and then reach your left hand toward me. So because we're lifting all of the right toes, we have to still engage the right leg. Bend the front knee over the ankle, pull the energy in through the root, up through the belly, out through the heart, rise to stand. Stand up super tall, straighten your front leg, reverse your triangle, and then if you want, reach to your left wrist and give it a tug, take a breath. And then as you exhale, bring the hands down, left hand to your block, right hand to your waist. Preparing for Ardha Chandrasana, the half moon balance. Let's heel toe your right foot closer. Then bringing your drishti forward, bring your left block to a diagonal from the pinky toe. From there, we'll raise the right leg high and start to roll the hip open. Now, to roll the hips open more and to stack them, please bring your right foot forward until you can see your foot in your vision. From that point, push down through your left foot to drive the right leg back. Then, that'll even help you bring some of the weight out of the left hand. So, pushing down through your left big toe, maybe now you gaze down to the floor. So, feel the left inner thigh working. Pull prana up through Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. Reach your left hand out toward me. You got this. Your right arm and your right leg are lifting you away from the floor. It's your balance. You're doing great. Take a deep breath in. And then when you're ready, let's soften the left knee. step the right leg back. Either heel toe or jump in. Shake your legs out a bit. Ooh. Sometimes balance poses give me foot cramps and they create some tightness in the psoas and the hips. So if you want to do some hip circles, please feel free. Again, that's my tantric perspective. So anyways, maybe a little bit of water. Now we'll use our yoga practice to make an offering to Hanuman. So Hanumanasana is this split, and Hanuman's statue or figure of the god or goddess. So this is Hanuman. This is my little Hanuman. Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman. My friend Rachel Goolsby got this for me from the retreat that we did at Kashi Ashram with my beautiful Amma Betancourt. So I'm just going to give a little bit of homage to Hanuman here. I'm putting him back on my altar. I'm going to take my little puja bell, my ceremony bell. I'm just going to make 3 circles around Hanuman as offering. I'll put it to my third eye and bow, and then down. The beauty of these gods and goddesses, these principles, these ceremonies and rituals is that it enlivens within you what is sacred and important to you. So we are not worshiping anything outside of ourselves. We don't have to be afraid because we are divine and we're honoring. So you can put your left knee down on your blanket, give yourself some space so that you can come into and out of your lunge. You might not use blocks, you might just have your fingertips on the floor. So pushing down through your left foot, inhale to lift your heart. And as you exhale, start to lean back, straightening the right leg. And again, I'm like a mirror to you so you can see me. The thing about any split practice for Hanumanasana, you not only want to open up the hamstrings, but you also want to open up the quadriceps and the hip flexors before you go into splits. Okay, when you're ready, let's take the right foot forward more. And I like to walk my blocks back at this point and then draw them down to a level that can be a little bit more stable. So if that's available to you, please do. Notice how your hip might be open. Plantar flexion, circle, if you want to, rather than in the knee joint, okay? So if you're dumping all your weight down into the right knee, push your right heel down to bend your right knee just a little bit, and pulling the right hip point back, plugging the thigh bone into the socket, the heart goes forward more. And you can see my legs shake. You want to put a lot of muscular strength around the joints to protect them. That's really important. If you're really, really, really strong and your muscles are super tight, feel free to just go to your own limit there. But with mindfulness, of course. Take a deep breath in, lift the heart, draw the blocks back, draw the right heel back. Mindfulness, of course. Take a deep breath in, lift the heart, draw the blocks back, draw the right heel back a little bit, and as you exhale, bend the front knee back into your lunge. Okay, I'm going to turn the blocks up higher here. Then let's lift the left foot. So you don't have to grab the foot. Sometimes I just like to keep the thigh pressing down and my hands on the ground in front of me. So put a little drag back on your right heel so your hips will spin into alignment. Now push down through the left thigh and ease up on the hip flexors just a little bit. Okay, if it's too much in the hips, then just push them back a little bit. Now, if you want to reach back and grab the foot, let's keep the left hand down as an anchor because we're ideally for this, getting right into the quadriceps on the front of the thigh rather than rolling into external rotation like we normally do. So keep the chest and hips down and reach the right hand back, okay? Now, if you like, you can start to lean forward, and if it's available to you, you can just go into more of a yin posture here, letting your right shoulder rest on your right knee, but whatever works for you, and take deep breaths. If this feels safe and you want to go up a little further, you can start to walk up, driving the heel in. You could then raise your left arm. Or option 3 is to reach back, catch the foot, drive the foot away a little bit to lift up through the heart, And if you can bend the foot, flex the ankle, then go for it. Scoop the tail slightly forward to get more out of the stretch. Take an inhale. As you exhale, release your left hand. Whoop, bring it down. Try not to fall down like I did. Release the back foot carefully, okay? Then we're gonna take the weight off of the left knee and we'll just simply step forward. So you may have to take the blocks up higher. Let's walk into Warrior 3 with hands on the blocks to circle around through the leg. Or maybe you kick it and bring it down. Okay, now I'm gonna spin around. I'm gonna do that whole thing facing this way so that we can see each other. So the left foot steps forward, the right knee goes down onto your blanket. And then you find your lunge position here, your Ardha Anjaneyasana. So Anjaneya is Hanuman's mother. So I think it's really lovely to learn about yogic philosophy because my teacher Bill Mahoney would say, learning about the philosophy and about the mythology just illumines and enlivens the practice. Because you know that is a precursor to the split, doesn't that inform your practice, right? We gotta do lunges before we go into splits for safety. So the split was born from the lunge. Isn't that cool? I'm a nerd, whatever. Own your nerdiness. Lift your heart and inhale. And exhale and straighten front leg. So we're coming into our lunge vinyasa here. The Hanumanasana vinyasa, forward and back. Inhaling as you move forward. And exhaling, taking it back. Find some pleasure here, some kama, some enjoyment. Kama is one of the fourfold objectives of life according to Ayurveda, which are Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So Dharma is your soul's purpose, your virtuous duty. Artha is wealth of all kinds. Kama is enjoyment, and Moksha is liberation, freedom. Freedom from separation, freedom from ignorance. Okay, so let's find our half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. And then we'll draw the foot forward just a little bit, push down into the left heel, draw the left hip point back. Then you can start to walk the hands forward. Maybe turn the blocks down or just put your hands on the floor if that's available to you. Feel free to point and flex and roll through the ankle. Deep breaths, everybody. Again, if you feel too much sensation in the knee, you push down through the left heel to bend the knee a little bit to add some muscle. And then let's walk the blocks back. Let's slide the left heel back a little bit to bend into your lunge. Now, walking forward, I like to turn my blocks up to the mid-level and then drive the hips back just a little bit to bend the back knee. If that is available and you feel comfortable and you can keep your breath flowing easily, then you can drop a little bit more. But we're pushing down through the right thigh, and that takes the hips back just a little bit. So you imagine the tail scooping forward a little bit. Now, if you want to reach back and grab the foot, you can do so with your left hand this time, and try to turn the chest down rather than opening into a twist like we normally would. Keep your left shoulder and chest facing either down toward the floor or forward. Then if you want, you can drive weight back into the hold of your right foot and raise your right arm. Option 3 is to reach back, catch the foot. You can hold the foot or the ankle. You can drive that back. See if you can clasp your fingers around it. And as you drive it back, you can lift your heart more. Then once you have that, very carefully start to move down deeper into your hip flexion. Scoop the tail, open up through your heart, breathe. Pull energy all the way from the left heel up through the inner thighs, up through the pelvic floor and perineum, and let it rise up through the belly, up through the heart. Lift your gaze. As you exhale, carefully release your right hand, release your leg, and then send it back. Okay. Now, we're going to switch here. So first, slide your left heel back. For your leg, you might have to go up to a higher block level. And if you can, give me a little kick, yeah. And then we'll step it down, and we'll rise up to stand. Arms in the air, exhale, release. Okay, we're coming now into our full splits. So if you notice that you're feeling a little bit too much sensation, then you'll come back to the half split and you'll stay there, okay? Splits are an opportunity for us to check our ego, because if we injure our hamstrings, it lasts forever. If you've ever had a hamstring injury, it takes a really long time for them to heal. So please be careful and safe and listen to your breath. As my friend Keegan White would say, let's not sacrifice the integrity of the pose for the glory of the pose. Because who really cares what our yoga practice looks like? It's about how we feel, right? And it's about finding strength in owning where we are in that self-observation movement so that we can practice discernment. Somebody else just joined us. Oh, hi, Stephen. Okay, now, when you're ready, you're coming to the blanket. I like to give myself a hip stretch first. So bring both hands inside your right foot. And if you can, come down onto one or both forearms. So here we're just kind of getting now into the outer hip and into the low back. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. 2 more breaths. Good, and 1 more breath. Then slowly walk up onto your hands. Now bring the block. Now make sure that the blocks are stable. So for me, that means I turn my blocks all the way down to their lowest level. Now walk the knee back, straighten your right leg. Okay, so option 1 is to press into the hands and arms, and we'll do a little plank split here. So tucking the back toes under, just go ahead and lift. Now we'll stay here for a few breaths. Maybe you play with bending the right knee, maybe point flex. And then if you want to, you can start to bring your left knee down. Now another option, and this is kind of tricky, is to take your block underneath the back thigh. So some people like this. This is not my favorite, but I just want to show it to you anyway. So if you can get the hands on the floor, you can put your block underneath the back thigh. Okay, now this puts too much pressure on my front knee. So if you want to take the block down, you can slide it underneath your back leg just above the thigh. So it takes a little doing, but you can bring your back leg onto the block. Now, if it's available to you, you can do this without the blocks. So keep them for strength underneath your hands, and we'll start to draw the front foot forward more, and we'll go really, really slowly, and then we'll relax the back foot. Now, while you're getting used to splits and you're learning them, you're welcome to lean outward onto the absolutely fine. However, once we're going to work on our flexibility and on the alignment of our hips and keeping especially our sacral joints where the sacrum meets the ilium stable, a lot of us have instability there and it causes sciatica. You know sciatica if you have low back pain. I feel it every day. So let's try it. Push into your hands, tuck the back toes under, and now let's keep your back toes tucked because you're really using your back foot. Okay, so now please focus on pressing down to the back foot to draw the heart forward between the gateway of the arms. Then, over time, maybe keeping the left thigh closer to the floor, you can bring the right hip point down. But again, let's check our ego, okay? Am I breathing fully and slowly on purpose? Am I feeling no pain, meaning that my sensation level is not super high? Pain feels like a sudden or a sharp sensation, or we find that we can't breathe, and none of those things are okay, okay? Let's take pain out of the yoga practice. You can keep it at the gym if you want to, but I invite you to join me in the no injury zone. Because if you get hurt, then you can't do your practice. And it's the blessing of an injury is a new perspective but let's prevent it in the first place by simply practicing discernment and being mindful. Okay, getting out of splits is not exactly graceful, but I like to push into my hands to draw the front leg back. Now, when you're ready, I'm just gonna lift up and step forward. And let's fold in. So soften the knees. You can hang out. Feel free to hold on to the elbows or even to the back of the neck. You could sway. Take deep breaths. Then bend the knees and engage the core, and feel free to walk yourself up. Take your time. Usually after a deep posture like that, which increases your circulation so much, you gotta give your blood pressure a little time to regulate, and then we rise to stand. And feel free to make little cups through the hands and just give your quadriceps and your hip flexors a little bit of love. Tap, 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 tap. We'll do the other side. Okay. Now we'll start with our left foot forward. Take your blocks with you. Step your left foot forward. Bring your blocks down. Make sure that even when you come down into your lunges, you're mindful of keeping the knee over the ankle. Okay, we'll try our plank split first. So here we go. Blocks go back. Hands down onto blocks at their lowest level, tuck your right toes under and lift your right knee off the floor, and then rock back onto the left heel. Remember that your knee joint is not bearing the weight. It's your heels and your knees are slightly soft, and you're feeling the muscles of the legs hug toward each other. So imagine that you can pull your feet closer together and watch how your heart moves forward when you squeeze your feet in isometrically. Then, if you want to, you can start to come down on all those different variations. You can put the block underneath you. You can start to walk your left leg forward. Okay, so carefully here, let's just go ahead and go right into it. Keep your right toes tucked under and drive the right leg back. Bend the front knee a little bit and start to carefully lower yourself down. But with your deep breaths, be patient, be gentle. You gotta romance your way into splits. You can't just get there right away. It takes some time and some love. So if you can, keep the back toes tucked so that you can really be mindful of drawing the left hip back so that the right hip can move forward. I like to lean a little bit, so feel free to play around here, getting into the depth of the stretch. Big exhales through the mouth here can be super helpful. And you want to hold these deep stretches for at least a minute. So I'm talking like 10 long, deep breaths. So when you do this, if you want to increase your flexibility, you hold these stretches for about a minute. Okay? Now, if you can, let's tuck the right toes under, draw your blocks back. Push into your blocks and slide your left heel back. And this time, bend your left knee. Let's go ahead and take your right leg through, whoop, and have a seat, or just have a seat, however you like. Okay, so swing your feet around in front of you. Now we're gonna work on core squeeze before we come down onto our backs. So keep your blocks by your side, and we're going to use the blocks to do a little monkey lift. So this one is really fun. So again, we dedicate this to our inner strength, our courage, our bravery, and our faith within ourselves, not because we believe that we're good enough with the mind, but because we have faith in ourselves at our deepest core, just in our gut and in our hearts. And sometimes, like Hanuman, we understand how strong we are because we use our voices and we step up and we show how generous we are for someone else first. Often it's harder to do it for ourselves. Okay, so eventually let's turn that strength back in and take care of us too, because you deserve it, you are worth it. Let the blocks come right at your hips and then just directly under your shoulders, okay? Now, let's cross the right ankle over your left thigh and you're pushing down into the outsides of your feet, okay? All right, little monkeys. So when you're ready, you're gonna come forward, push down, you're rounding through the spine just a little bit in flexion, and then you push your arms straight and you lift up. So option one is to use your feet first, play around with lifting one foot and then the other. Option two is to lift your feet, or hold 3, 2, 1, and then sit down. And we're coming into boat pose Navasana. So draw back, lean back, hold the back of your legs, lift your feet, release your hands, lift your heart, raise your arms, maybe you raise your feet too. Okay. Lift up your heart for 3, 2, heart a little higher, up to the hands, 1, and then please cross your left ankle over your right thigh, push down into your feet, lean forward, press into your hands, lift your hips or your feet, or stretch it out and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, drop. Right into Navasana. Bend your knees a little, engage your inner thighs if the top of the thighs start to scream at you. Catch your breath. Lift up your heart a little higher. Okay, one more set. Cross your right ankle, press into your hands, lift. Maybe the legs go out. Drop it down, arms in front of you. Breathe. Arms up. 2 more breaths.